Hey everyone, it's Jared. Before we get into our Season 3 finale, I just want to tell you about a few ways that you can help support us and everything that goes into creating our show. If you're enjoying The Phenomenon, the number one way to show your support is simply by helping to spread the word. The Phenomenon grows through word of mouth, so every friend you tell about it or post you share online helps to grow our audience and bring new ears to the show. You can also head to our website, phenomenonpod.com, for other ways to support, including our merch store, where you can get Phenomenon t-shirts, stickers, prints, and tons of other cool stuff. We have some great designs posted, and there are new ones on the way. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @PhenomenonPod to keep up to date on the next chapter in the Phenomenon world. Enjoy the season finale.
This is the emergency alert system. If you're hearing this, congratulations. You're alive. It's been 5 years since the last reports of shards or tall ones. The global threat, as far as we can tell, is over. It is once again safe to go outside and to look at the sky. The United States government is temporarily unavailable until a new administration can be elected. But for anyone in need of assistance or community, please join us in Washington, D.C. A civilian and military community is in place and welcome to all. For those with any specialized intel or intelligence on either the shards or the tall ones, we strongly encourage you to join us in Washington to be debriefed. Our global nightmare is over, but there is much healing and work to be done. To anyone hearing this message, best of luck out there.
I don't see anybody.
I think they see us. Let's all put our hands up now. We don't mean no harm. We're just looking to talk to somebody.
Who's in charge here?
That'd be me.
Name?
Jesse, ma'am.
All right, Jesse. You can all put your hands down and get up. This here's Jones.
Hello, everyone.
My name is Sharon. Don't call me ma'am.
Copy that.
What brings you to D.C.?
We heard the message, so we came.
How long have you been here?
Since right after the phenomenon, so going on 5 years now.
Has there been any progress finding the remains of the government?
Well, to tell you the truth, we can't say there are any remains. We're pretty sure a federal government doesn't even exist anymore, but if it does, it's not here. We have satellite communications with a few places where government has survived. London, Moscow, Sydney, Brazil, but D.C. isn't one of them.
The message said something about coming here to report specialized shard and tall one information to someone.
You've got some intel for the captain.
The captain?
Longmire, a Navy sub-captain. He's got a handle on things.
Can't wait to meet him. Yeah, I've got some intel.
Then I'm sure he'll want to meet you too. The captain keeps quarters over at the Navy Yard. I can escort you over there, if you'd like.
Sounds like a plan. Linda, why don't you stay here with everybody? Keep an eye on things.
Okay.
While you're waiting, feel free to walk around and be tourist a little if you like. I'll be happy to escort you and your group. The only things completely off limits are the Pentagon, the White House, and Congress.
Why are they off limits?
The captain's got it in his head that they should be preserved for if and when someone from the government shows up.
Sounds great. Jesse, find us when you're done.
Will do. Lead the way, mate. Sharon.
Follow me.
Y'all self-sufficient here?
Close to. We've turned a lot of land here into farms and hooked up as many solar panels as we can find. We trade with communities up and down the coast, inland as far as Nashville, mostly for parts, rechargeable batteries, things like that. Right now, we're pretty dependent on the Oregon for power. We're hoping to change that by the end of the year.
The Oregon?
A submarine. Nuclear. The captain's old command. He pulled her up to a pier, tied her up, hooked her up to the grid, and started her reactor on a slow burn. At first, the draw was enormous. Street lights, TVs left on, home appliances. Mostly things that were running when the first swarm hit. The Oregon's reactor is built to power one ship, not an entire city. So we had to cut big swaths of the grid off. We still go around occasionally, shutting off everything on a block, connecting it, shutting down what we missed, and clearing it out. It'll still be a few years, but we'll get DC back to something usable. We know there are similar efforts underway in most of the major cities. Baltimore, Philly, Atlanta.
There's survivors in Atlanta?
Yep. You spent time there before?
During, actually.
Oh, the captain will definitely want to hear about that then. He's always looking to hear stories from people who are able to move about during. Collects them, writes them down, keeping a kind of history.
Smart. So much of what came before has already been lost. Makes sense to try and get a record of everything since, you know?
You said you moved around during?
Yeah.
Did you ever see anything odd?
Sharon, the things I've seen will scare the hair right off your head.
Yeah. You'll definitely want to talk to the captain then. You should probably take off your hat. The captain's kind of a stickler for protocol. Still insists we act as if we were all still in the Navy, Marines, whatever. Come on. The sanctum is right up here.
The sanctum?
It's what we've taken to calling the auditorium. It used to be for big briefings, but now the captain uses it like a big office. He and his daughter live there, pretty much. It's filled with files and computers. He's trying to collate everything we know about the phenomenon.
Captain's got a daughter, huh?
Adopted daughter, but yeah.
Good. Family is important.
Here we are. I'll announce you. But Jesse,
Yeah?
if I can give you some advice, don't lie to him. He can smell it on you, and he hates being lied to.
I'll keep that in mind.
Captain, you have a minute?
Yes, Sharon, what can I do for you?
A representative from a survivor group is here to see you. His name's Jesse, sir.
All right, then. Come on in. We're good here, Lieutenant.
Welcome to DC, Jesse.
Sharon?
Have a seat, son. Jesse, was it?
That's right.
All right, Jesse. I presume you've already been told the government isn't here?
Yes, sir.
So what can I do for you?
I've got some information on the phenomenon.
Is that right?
Yep, I did some moving and shaking during.
Did you see any of the giants? The tall ones?
Yeah, I sure did.
Okay, then. Let's hear it. From the beginning, please.
Everything? It all just sounds so crazy, you know?
Jesse, every time I meet someone, they say the same thing. If I told it to you straight, I'd sound crazy. I'm trying to compile a definitive record of the events of the phenomenon. Believe me when I say that crazy is all we get around here. Day in, day out.
Okay. From the beginning, then?
Please.
Here it comes! Woo!
Great kick, Rowan.
Henry!
Here it comes, buddy. Yeah, Evelyn.
The deer got into the vegetables again.
Damn it. Really? They are relentless.
I told you we wouldn't be able to keep them out of the quad. We should try planting in the football stadium. Maybe the walls will keep them out.
Yeah, you were right. Let's try the stadium next.
Little house?
It's good to see you outside.
Feels great to be out of the lab for a bit.
Is your leg still aching?
Oh yeah, but not too much to keep me from playing with my son.
Get ready!
You should move around like this more often.
Yeah, I should. I never thought I'd feel the sun again.
You're in the lab too much.
Because we still have so much work to do.
Yeah, but there's time. You said it could be 40,000 years before something like this might happen again.
Yeah, but we don't personally have that long.
Unfortunately, no.
We saw what these things can do firsthand, but the next generation won't feel as close to the threat. After 50 generations, it'll be nothing but a distant memory. And after 100, it'll be gone. 40,000 years is more than enough time for events like this to be forgotten completely. It's our responsibility, the survivors, to make sure that it doesn't, and that the people of the future are ready.
So what do we do?
Well, first, we keep working to try to understand the shards and the tall ones. We continue to hone in on what Opperthorn was researching, try to make sense of what we learned from dissecting the urchin, keep combing through everything we got from Zoe's bunker during the Chicago expedition.
And second?
Second is we find a way to make sure humans of the future are as prepared as possible.
And we do that by?
We do that by reforming the project. Humanity was nearly wiped out 5 years ago, but it wasn't. All human knowledge and the human race itself survived. Here we are. The project and other initiatives like it worldwide worked.
Here it comes!
In that case, I think you have some recruiting to do.
What do you think I'm doing right now? Evelyn Walters, I'd like you to join me in the new project. Help me save the world.
Henry, I thought you'd never ask.
So that's the God's honest truth of it, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me sit on this for a little while, Jesse. I may have a few more questions for you.
We'll be here as long as you need. Maybe even longer if you'll have us.
You and your group are more than welcome here.
I appreciate that, Captain.
I appreciate you taking the time to fill me in on all this.
Just doing my part.
Oh, Jesse. Do you happen to know if anyone in your party speaks French? I've got a notebook here I'm dying to get translated.
Hell, I speak French.
You do?
Sure. Louisiana French. I'd be happy to translate whatever you need.
You have no idea how happy I am to hear you say that. I'll send someone over with the journal.
Happy to help any way I can, Captain.
Thank you, Jesse.
Au revoir.
Are you there, Sawyer? What do you think?
I don't know. Do you think he's telling the truth?
Yeah, I really do. We've heard crazy before, but this guy, he didn't show an ounce of deception.
His story about the giants. It kind of sounds like...
Like the ones from the Oregon?
Yes. The Freed. It's the first time we've heard about someone else having contact with the tall ones like that. You think it's all possible?
We had peaceful contact, more or less. No reason to think he couldn't have as well. Unless he's spinning a yarn.
I think that's unlikely.
Yeah, I do too.
We should call Dr. Walters. He needs to hear this story.
Yeah, maybe in a bit. I need to sit with this for a few minutes. And it's still early there anyway.
Come on. You know he'll be up. Let's see what he thinks. He might even know something about this project thing Jesse said Raffi was a part of. Dad, please.
Okay, fine. Let's call him. Hand me the sat phone.
morning, Captain.
Professor?
How goes things on the East Coast?
Things here are fine. I've got some news for you. Do you have a minute?
I've always got time for you, Captain. What's going on?
We've made a new contact, a group out of Florida. The head of the convoy was out and about during the phenomenon and had quite a story to tell.
Excellent. Anything interesting?
Very. He spent some time at the CDC with that Raffi guy you mentioned.
Really? Does he know what happened to him?
He said Raffi was lost during their escape from the CDC, but apparently he has a whole crate full of Raffi's research, a box of notes he was able to get out of the facility.
Excellent.
It's not just that, Professor. This guy, Jesse, he also said that he made friends with a tall one and may have witnessed what ended them.
Jesus. Does he know where they went?
Doesn't seem like it, but the information he can provide should prove useful.
Absolutely. We have to get this all recorded. We have to start preparing for next time.
Next time?
Ben, these things, the shards, they operate by instinct, by programming. Almost like they're part of a larger organism. Thanks to Opperthorn's work, we know they came before, 40,000 years ago. And I think we can assume their instinct will bring them back again, most likely 40,000 years from now. If history repeats itself, our events will be long, long forgotten.
Most likely, yeah.
We need to bring in others, pass on what we've learned, and build something to send a warning down through the ages. We need to make sure people are ready next time.
Funny you should mention that. This guy I just talked to, Jesse, he said Raffi was involved in something like that. He called it the Project.
You might want to clear your schedule for the rest of the day, Captain. We have a lot to discuss.
The Phenomenon is written and directed by Jared J. Smith, based on the novel The Phenomenon by R.K. Kadick. It's produced by Öykü Çakar-Smith, Andrew Pomeroy, and Jared J. Smith. Sound design and music by Andrew Pomeroy. Cover art by Amanda Pacharsky. This episode features the voices of Evrim Kai Balan, Brianne Bushes, Öykü Çakar-Smith, Kristen DiMercurio, Connor Dillon, Eric Ensley, Devin Nelson, Michael Palladini, and Jared J. Smith. The Phenomenon is a production of Luciola Creative.